What's up, though? This is Karan for Karan Keep It Real podcast, and today I have John Goci,
That's right.
and he's running for Congress for Michigan 13th District. He's a founder and trust circle, chief executive officer, realtor, powered by EXP, community real estate, licensed real estate agent, Killers Williams Plymouth Canton Market Center, Director of Business Development, Saturn, American Bar and Grill, Vice President, Trust Wayne Westland Community School District, Vice President Business Development of Sturry and Law, President of Barton Tech, President of Barton Entertainment, and he's overqualified for the position.
Well, you know, there's no such thing about being overqualified, but it doesn't matter what your qualifications are. You know, what matters is your work ethic. If you don't show up, it means nothing as far as your qualifications. 50% of success is showing up. And that's one thing I want to say to you and the people in this district is I've showed up. I've been on the east side. I've been in the red zone. I've been on Melvindale, Ecorse, River Rouge, Wyandotte, Southgate, Melvindale, as I said. We're working Melvindale today. Downtown Detroit, the University District. I've been in every nook and cranny of this district, and that's what's important is people are out there, they're seeing me, I'm outworking my opponents in the election, even though I'm a write-in. None of that matters. What matters is that people are seeing me out there and that I care.
Yes.
And when people don't come visit you, like in the east side, they're like, you're the first guy running for Congress that's been out here walking my neighborhood.
Right.
And they really appreciate it.
Yeah, I see you on Livinois. Cars on Livinois, and that's why I talk to you.
Yeah.
So for the people that don't know anything about you, can you let people know a little history about you so when they do go out and vote, they can know who they voted for?
Yeah, my name's John Goci. My family immigrated here from Kosovo, which is an Albanian-speaking area of Eastern Europe. I came here when I was 9 years old. We were piss poor, as poor as you can get. Sometimes, I think back to the way we started, and it really was one of those amazing moments in my life that helped shape who I am, because it's something that makes me connect to some of the poor areas in our district. Well, let me shut that phone off. But anyways, growing up poor helps you understand what people are going through in our area, which is one of the top poorest areas in the nation. We have some areas here that have been forgotten by the local elected officials and the cities and the communities. And that's something that I really care about. I want to help the people in this district that are disenfranchised, that the economic advancements in our area have left them behind. And, I started out as a busboy in my parents' restaurant, washing dishes. I grew up in the back parking lot of the restaurant in downtown Wayne since 1979. And I learned how to cook, and at a young age I opened up a teen club. They don't have those anymore.
Yeah.
So back in the day, the teen club was called Club Ferrari. So when I was 16, I convinced somebody that owned one of my favorite teen clubs when I was a little kid. They shut down, and I convinced him to let me open it up with my friends from high school. We did really well there. And from there, I went on into opening up a shop that we did t-shirts, and it was called Visual Marketing. Then I opened up a Wayne Hobby Shop in downtown Wayne. And then I opened up the Wayne Brewery, Mike and Mona's US 12. Now I currently own a Big Mo's in downtown, well, it's not downtown, but it's in Detroit on 8 Mile DeQuinder in the Belmont Shopping Plaza. And back in 1998, the place of my birth, where I was from, ended up being involved in the ethnic cleansing war. They were the victims of ethnic cleansing, and that really helped me understand what the evils of humanity is at its worst. But also, I got an opportunity to be part of America in the American military effort to help free them, and that was one of my most cherished moments of my life, going in there, rolling in with the U.S. military to a grateful Kosovar nation. There were people who were lining the streets, with flowers and great gratitude. And you know, Kosovo, where I'm from, actually is more pro-American than Americans are, if you can believe that. And we have a special place in our hearts for America. And I'm going to tell you a fun fact: they have a statue of Bill Clinton in the Capitol over there.
Oh, wow.
Bill Clinton was a president at the time that, you know, they helped free the Albanians there. So you know, after that, I had this idea to invent a voting machine. Because my mom went to vote and she was unsure if her vote even counted because the voting system was archaic and it was a touch screen but black and white, and she didn't realize that there was a next button on the bottom right of the screen. So I developed the voting system and I worked with Jackie Curry, going old school on you here. So I worked with the Detroit Department of Elections and Jackie Curry and her team. And we use them as the ideal customer that can really help out with people understanding the voting process. My system had the ability for the clerk to add photographs to it, and it could talk to you. You could put headphones on, it would talk to you in any language that the clerk deemed necessary for that particular district. And the best part about it is it paid for itself. Because when you went to vote in there, we were doing testing in Detroit. It took the average voter on my system 15 seconds to check in and get registered to vote. In the current system, you go, you show your ID, they have you fill out an application. It takes about a minute, 15 seconds. With my system, you swipe your state ID, your driver's license, automatically brought up your profile, so the poll worker confirmed that that was you. You did an electronic signature capture on the keypad, and now the savings comes in because they didn't have to pay anybody to do any data entry work after the election to indicate who turned out to vote. It captured it immediately. And it saved a minute a voter, which got more people encouraged to go vote because, you know, they didn't hate waiting in long lines, especially in presidential elections. And then I invented a jukebox that played music videos. I'm like, holy smokes, this is the most amazing, you know, product I've ever come up with.
What's the name of it?
I was called at the time it was called Digital Video Jukebox Network. It was a private television network and the content was music videos. We would put it in a bar and grill, and then we would connect it to the entire system in the bar through a channel modulator. So whatever system they had, we would get the unused channel, and then we would feed that with the music videos. And it did really good. And then Mr. Barton joined the company. He invested a total of about $14 million in there. And we built an amazing product. We had deals with all the labels except for BMG and EMI. So we didn't have BMG and EMI. We launched it in 1,000 locations, and we were getting ready to go live, and then BMG merged with Sony. We worked on it 8 years, so when they merged with Sony, they became a, you know, giant music company. They controlled 40% of the world's music. So what do they do when they have control like that? Well, they squeeze you, and they basically squeezed us out of business. They doubled our licensing fees and wouldn't budge, and we were basically splitting the profits with them, 50-50. But yeah, they put us out of business, and that's something that I will never forget. That's something that's very important as somebody that's going in Congress to understand. Monopolies are not good for the consumer. They're not good for the small businessman. And in my case, I found out firsthand. So I lost 8 years of my life. I lost, you know, about $14 million. I lost my house. My car got repoed. I mean, I went down to -0. Not zero, but -0. So, you know, I got to see the corporate greed and what they do, and I really, you know, was saddened by that. It put me in a deep, you know, hole there, financially, mentally. But you know what? Bad things happen to good people all the time. What matters is how you recover from that. So I never gave up. I kept going. I decided I wanted to serve in public service. I no longer wanted to chase my entrepreneurial dreams to be a billionaire. I said, you know what? I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life to public service. I got involved in the school board. I ran for the school board in Wayne Westland. I ran for Congress in 2012. And in that case, I found out that running for federal office is no joke.
No, it's
Federal
not.
office is a whole different animal.
Yes.
And I immediately got attacked by my opponents because when I do anything, I work hard. And they seen that hard work and that scared them. So what do? They want to stop my flow, you know?
Yes.
So they called the Liquor Control Commission on me to shut my offices down because in my family business we sold alcohol. And in 2012, believe it or not, get ready for the shocker, it was illegal to have any campaign activity in a place that served alcohol.
Wow.
So I had to challenge them with the help of the ACLU in federal court. And the ACLU said everybody complains about it, but nobody wants to be the plaintiff because they're scared of repercussions from the Liquor Control Commission because they're the enforcer in the liquor control licensing aspect. So I said, sign me up, and then we filed a lawsuit, and the state said it's indefensible. So I changed the law. So now if you have a political event at a place that serves alcohol, it's because of my fight. I'm not scared to fight. I have courage, and I have a love for the people here in Detroit.
Yes, that's right.
I kind of went a little long, but I got so many stories,
No, I
so
love
many
it.
journeys.
No, that's beautiful because by changing the law, that will let everybody know that you don't take no for an answer.
No.
Even if your competitor know more people, and I see a lot of videos of him trying to fit in with certain people and stuff like that.
Awkward.
Yes, and at the same time, how you are coming here with me that represent the east side of 7 Mile and let people know, okay, I'm not afraid to go talk to anybody about my mission, what I want to do for the community, and also when I get in Congress to help the people.
Well, you know what? Your representative, there's a reason they called you representative in Congress, because he is your representative.
Right.
He's supposed to come out to the communities, talk to the people, find out their needs, find out how they feel about national subjects that are important, matters that are coming up for a vote. And that's your representative in Congress. That's
Not
your
just
closest
say
voice.
what people want to hear.
No.
A lot of people just say what you want to hear, and you've been there for a long time, and your paper is up. And then at the same time, when you've been in there, the people is still like, we can't trust politics. A lot of people I know say, I'm not going to vote. The reason why I'm doing this interview is because I want people to get out and vote.
Yeah. Well, it's very important to get out and vote, because 90% of the voters are not going to go vote in my election, and it's going to be decided in less than a week. The people are discouraged with the politicians. I always say, don't listen to what they say, because everybody talks.
Yeah.
Look at what they do. Look at the actions. And then look at their work ethic. If they're workers, they're always going to work. They're not just going to work in the campaign and then just take a break once the job starts.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of people in this area that love the area and that are out there every day trying to make it the best they can. And we have to support them. And that's what I'm going to do when I get in there, is be your conduit to Washington and be a conduit from Washington back to the neighborhood.
That's right.
Because we need some help here, especially in the east side.
The east side and west side.
Yeah.
For instance, I was living on the east side, but all my life, 42 years of my life. And it's not a bad neighborhood that I live in, 7 Mile in the Quinta area, which is down the street
it's just down the street from Big Mo's.
Yeah. So really, the people that I talked to, I stayed on the phone with a lot of people at 4 o'clock this morning, and I was asking them, I talked to people that said, oh, we don't have no dog in that race. And I'm saying, the reason why you don't have a dog in the race, you're complaining about everything going high. Yeah. And you complaining about politics, but you could register to vote online. You could
Same day registration at the clerk's office.
You could do it same day at the clerk's office. You could do a mail-in ballot.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could go in person. But if you complaining about it, stop complaining and do something about it. Even if you say you don't trust it. So any way you look at it, people, you're gonna be affected by it if you vote or not. So you need to just get out and vote and understand your vote do count, and what Congress, what Mr. Goci is trying to do is make awareness for the middle class and the poor. He knows more about the poor because he came here with nothing, and then he lost everything. And that's how God shows us sometimes when we lose it all. and he will reveal the true life that we should be living and help the people that we should be helping. Today, I was saw a guy ask for a transfer for a bus. I reached in my pocket, I gave him a bus card. Even though I gave him a bus card, somebody else said, "Oh, I give you $6 for that." He was going to sell it. I said, "I gave it to you."
Yeah.
It's not the point of what he did with it that I gave it to him, because I gave it to him. You do what you want with it, and that's what you're doing for the community right now. All you can do is put it out there.
I'm out here putting it out every day, putting in my sweat equity, and the rest is up to you. And I did want to add one note that I forgot. And sometimes in your journeys, whether they're wins or losses, something leads to something.
Yes, it does.
And my biggest loss was that video jukebox. I lost 8 years of my best life. I lost all my money. My investor lost all his money. But in that journey, I met Akira Diaguardi. She's a songwriter. When I met her, she was just starting out, and she went on to become the hottest songwriter in the country, writing 50 top 10 hits, and later on became a judge on American Idol. And when a young girl in Wayne was dying of terminally ill from brain cancer, they approached me, and the council lady, Pam's like, "I don't even know why I'm coming to you, but my daughter, who had worked for me, said I should ask you because you're in the music business." And I said, "What can I do for you?" And they said her last wish is to see the Jonas Brothers.
Absolutely.
I said, "Did you try Make-A-Wish? Because the show sold out like when it went on sale a year ago, 3 minutes." And she said yes, but they didn't have any tickets available. So I sent the email to Kara Diaguardi, who I met in my journey of the video jukebox, and I would have never met her. And she's like, "How many tickets?"
Wow.
And I said 4, and for mom, dad, and sister. And she's like, "Consider it done." And I said, "You made a miracle happen today." And she's like, "It must have been God's wish," because when I was in the studio, I was recording a song with Guy Laveau of Rascal Flatts, who's the biggest promoter of Make-A-Wish, and not only that, shares road managers with the Jonas Brothers.
Wow.
So it was a matter of a phone call. So everything happens. So sometimes I often think that I go through that journey to be able to give this girl her last wish.
Not only that, it's also the level up.
Yeah.
It was for your journey that you're on now.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm out there every day working, and that's how I met you.
Yes.
You came about my information through some literature that I left on a counter somewhere that sometimes never gets anywhere, but in this case, it was meant to get to you.
Absolutely. My goal is right now is to get 100 organizations and business owners together. Also, I'm looking for sponsors and partnerships to help with my podcast to get better quality, better equipment, and networking. And because I am the plug of the city, I meet people.
You're on the path.
Yeah.
You just got to keep moving forward. And as your viewership grows, as the quality of your content grows, and this is an amazing opportunity because you're really the only one out there that's putting out my information.
Absolutely.
So that the people in Detroit at least know all their options.
Yes.
And a lot of media have picked horses in the race.
Of course.
Mostly for financial interest. Shri Danadar is going to spend $9 million in this campaign.
Yeah.
And so nobody wants to rock the boat of the guy that's feeding the gravy train. So people do a lot of stuff for money. So you got to also look at who's backing these candidates.
Right.
If they're taking $1 million from the crypto industry, guess what? They work for those guys. They don't work for you. If they're taking $3 million from APAC, guess what? They work for that organization, and they're going to toe the line, and they're going to vote the vote, no matter what it does to the people back home.
Exactly.
We just approved $3 billion for military aid to Israel. My God, can you imagine what we could do if we approved $3 billion to invest it in Detroit? What would it look like here if we invested $3 billion in re-educating our people to get them a skill set in the skilled trades such as plumbing, electrical, where there's needs, but we don't have the mechanism and the training in place? You know, and a lot of people, speaking of in the East Side, I used to manage some rappers back in the day called Corporation Affiliated.
Okay.
Old school. I don't even know if any of you guys were in tune with the rap scene back in the day. But you know, the biggest problem was transportation.
Yeah.
You know, people have the ability to do a job, and there's jobs out there, but they don't have the means to get there.
Yeah.
The busing system is still archaic, and I can't believe we're in 2026 and we still don't have good public transportation. That's something that needs to be addressed and addressed immediately. I know there's a millage coming up in regards to that.
Yeah.
So I hope people go out there and support those people that don't have a vehicle, because in this country, if you don't have a car, you don't have feet.
That's
and
right.
we got to fix that. We have a lot of problems, and it ain't gonna change putting the same old in there. You got to get some new young blood in there, and you got, you know, I'm not so young, but I'm younger than the guy I'm running against.
Yeah.
And I still got some energy, and I have a love for the people of Detroit, and I want to serve them. I want to help them make their life better, and I want to help build the leaders in here, such as your help, such as yourself. Hopefully one day I may be able to help you get on the next level, on the next stage. So, you know, who knows? But the important thing is you got to show up, and you got to work hard, and no matter what you do, whether you're cleaning toilets or sweeping streets or cooking, be the best at your trade and make it your passion. Don't sit there and be disgruntled. Oh, I got to clean, I got to mop. You know what I do when I got to go walk there, 90-degree weather? I say, thank God for another day of this beautiful weather. At least it's not freezing, and I'm getting some exercise.
Man, I love your point of view of how you look at things in life, and you're very motivational by hearing your story, by telling me don't give up, keep connecting with people, and keep doing what I'm doing. Somebody's gonna see me and follow the dream and ideals that I have, and networking with people. You know, that's a God-given talent. And just like you doing service work, it won't even be a job, like you said, for you to help the people. You like doing it.
Yeah, if you like doing it, like I like it. I like being out here. You know,
it's not about the money.
When I went out and collected my signatures, I had hired a company because it started raining the last week. It was raining hard, and I'm like, oh man, I don't think I'm going to be able to get all the signatures. My goal was to get the signatures all myself, all 1,000 signatures required to get my name on the ballot. And it started raining the last week, and I said, oh, I have to hire somebody. So I interviewed a couple of companies, and I hired this one out of Southwest Detroit. I paid them double what the going rate was, $9 a signature.
Wow.
And I only wanted 500 signatures extra as insurance, even though I had 800 on my own. The remainder of the week, I ended up getting another 400 signatures. So I turned in 1180 on my signature count. And the company gave me a total of 360. And it turns out that they gave me a fraudulent list. The circulator didn't even exist, so those signatures didn't count, left me 140 short. So what are my options now? I'm not on the ballot. Do I run as a write-in, which is a miracle, an impossibility? It's never been done before, where you got this big of a district, you know, 17 cities. So we got all the Grosse Pointes, Highland Park, you know, Hamtramck, and all of downriver, Wayne, Romulus, Taylor. And basically I said, you know what, I'm going to run. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to meet the people. I'm going to work my butt off. And hopefully people will take 10 minutes, 15 minutes out of their day on August 4th and vote. And they don't even have to do it August 4th. They can vote early now. There's 7 places, you know, that you can vote in Detroit early. And I have a list of all the locations on my website. Well, now it's actually my Facebook page, John Goci for Congress, and it's got a list on there where you can go vote. But, you know, you just got to get out there, show up, work hard, and be the best you can. And if you lay it all on the field, it's okay if you lose. As long as you put it all out there. You know what's not okay is if you're chilling in air conditioning because it's too hot to go out there. Well, every time it's hot, you know, when we had that smoke out there, you know, I was out there, I'm like, I'm going out and I'm knocking on doors. Because, you know, with a smile, because I knew, what. Guess what? My opponents, they weren't out there. They were chilling in the AC.
Anything you got to say to your opponent before we leave here, or for us to know, for one, who is your opponent? Because you said you were on the ballot.
My opponent is, you know, there's actually two opponents on there. You
Okay.
have Shri Tanadar,
Okay.
who is the most ineffective legislator out there. He chases headlines,
Okay.
you know, but doesn't get anything accomplished.
No.
He doesn't show up. He represents the city of Wayne. That's my city. It's where I've been there since '79.
Okay.
He showed up one time when he got introduced as our new representative in Congress.
Oh, wow.
And he's never been back since. You know, so if you're my representative in Washington and you ain't been back since and you've received numerous invitations,
Yeah.
that means you don't care.
No.
He is the poster child of what's wrong with our politics. He bought the seat.
Yeah.
He spent $9 million with help from APAC and bought the seat back in 2024. And you know, he's on TV every minute and he's spending it again. But the thing is senior citizens, you know, that don't understand sometimes what's happening on the streets because they're insulated, they're in the house, maybe they might go shopping or out to dinner, but they're not connected to what's happening out there on our streets. And they see the TV commercials and they want to support him. They like him. He's an immigrant. He came from nothing. He's trying to do something, but you know what? You got to look at what they do, not what they say or what they portray on TV. And he hasn't showed up. And you know what? I'm done with politicians. You know, they sit there, they come and they promise you the world. And they're going to work hard for you. And they get in there, they become rubber stamps for the powers that be.
Absolutely.
Period.
Yeah. And your other one.
The other candidate is Donovan McKinney. He's a state rep. But you know what? I'm going to be frank with you. He's not out there working and doesn't have the experience I have. You know, I got a lot of experience that I bring to the table, and the most important thing I bring to the table is courage. You know what? I am not afraid of nobody but God and myself, and I'm not afraid of going to somebody's door and getting berated because I'm the wrong party. But I tell them, sir, it doesn't matter whether you're Republican or Democrat. I'm your representative in Washington. In this district, you got to pick the best Democrat, because whoever wins the Democratic primary, that's who's going to represent you in Washington.
Absolutely.
And you're saying that you have an employee, but you want nothing to do with him because you are labeling him as a Democrat. There's all kinds of Democrats out there. The label doesn't make you. Your actions make you. Your work ethic makes you. And how you react to people's problems. If you got a problem and you come to me, I'm going to help you or give you a straight answer and let you know where you stand. What I hate is those people that just drag you along, string you along. They're your best friends when they need you, but then they won't even say hi to you when they see you on the street. Well, that's not John Goci. John Goci's a representative, a true connector with the people, and I love the people, and you can see that in my interactions. And hopefully we'll see that at the voting booth. If not this cycle, I ain't giving up. We'll get it done next time.
Well, I really appreciate that, John, and I'm going to manifest this. The Congress.
Yeah.
Congressman.
Yes, sir.
John. Not only that, because people need to know that you've been in business for yourself over 25 years, so you have all the qualifications, and you for the middle class and the poor. That's the main thing. These people you talking about is already rich and buying seats and have money. So I hope everybody got something out of this. You know, I don't want to go too much into it, but I really appreciate that you came here to let us know who to vote for. Voting is August 4th.
Yeah, but you can vote now.
You can vote now, and you can let them know your LinkedIn, your social media platform, and they can find out more about you before August 4th.
Yeah, John Goci for Congress is the Facebook page. JohnGoci.com is my website, JohnGoci.com. That's the website. That's where you can go find out more information about me. My phone number is 734-637-1430. That's my cell. Call me with any questions that you might have. But don't call me after midnight. The wife will get mad.
Thank you, John.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you
and
taking the time to interview me and taking time out of your day and giving me an opportunity and a platform to talk to the people of Detroit because they deserve it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Not only your crowd get to meet me and see about me.
Absolutely.
My community. I'm basically saying not crowd, but community. My community can see you and understand, oh, this the guy. Oh yeah, we're gonna look him up. We're gonna Google
please
him.
do.
Yeah, and they can get more about it and have more trust into voting and learn. Okay, this man started from the bottom, and now he's here.
We started from the bottom, now we're here.
So I appreciate you being on the show. I hope that we can network like my plan is with the sponsorship and the sponsorship and what's the other one? Partnership.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate it. I will promote you if you promote me, and I'm gonna help with whatever you need help with. Like I told you before we started the interview, whatever you need me to do, I got your back.
Well, you've done enough by helping me get the word out and letting people know that they have another option come August 4th. And, time will tell.
Time will tell, man. This is Karan for Karan Keep It Real podcast. I hope you enjoy this episode of voting. Please get out and vote. Please learn about your opponent. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired of going through the same thing with the politicians and getting the same results and complaining, and you complaining and everything going up, you're still going to get affected. So what is going to hurt to vote? Vote. Love you guys. Stay tuned for the next episode of Karan Keep It Real. Peace.
Have a good night.